Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. The captivating spectacle of Midwest F1 begins a new campaign. Tonight, Division 3 heads to Le Castellet, 25 miles east of Marseille for the French Grand Prix here at Circuit Paul Ricard. 15 corners make up this 5.8-kilometer circuit with 9 to the right and 6 to the left. 2 DRS zones with the biggest opportunity for overtaking being the 90-degree left-hander into Turn 1 and finally Turns 8 and 9. And top speeds expected to be around 205 miles an hour. This is going to be one of, I'm already calling this now. Every season I say something along the lines of this. This, I truly believe, is going to be the best season in Midwest history. If it's anything to go off of the F2 race on Tuesday, and if it's anything to go off of the interdivisional challenge that happened last week, we are going to be in for one hell of a ride here this season. Starting off in France, real-life F1, heading there for the French Grand Prix this weekend as well. Hotspot, as always, on the call this week for Division 3. And it looks like no early takers on track. I will say this is going to be slightly interesting here. I'm kind of excited to see what happens with tire strategy, as a couple different strategies you could be playing if you wanted to. 18 drivers in the lobby tonight. It looks as if we are missing... Oh, who are we missing? Perhaps a Mercedes, and I think an Alpha Tauri. No, we got both Alpha Tauris in here. I don't know. Well, at least one of them is a Mercedes. Anyways, out on track first looks to be one of the Alpha Tauris. It actually is going to be Brian Mosser, 88. Coming back. Ooh, this is quite nice. I have received a message from Pork Chops. Let's see what it says. Weather report, it looks like once we get into the race, 15 minutes in, it's got a 21% chance, and as it goes on, it gets a lot more. So it looks like rain could certainly be in the forecast here today, which I am very, very excited for. As this track is actually quite great in the dry, never mind in the wet as well. As DJ Knickknack is going to be the first on track to make a timed lap effort here. Now, as you can notice, if you got the keen driver's eye like I do, you'll notice these drivers aren't taking it easy on their outlaps like they used to. It takes a very long time to put temperature into the tires in this new game. It takes actually unbearably long to get temperature into the tires, so DJ Knickknack really is going to go for it here. And this is quite a difficult line to balance on as well, considering not only have you got to put temperature into the tires, you also have to understand that the softs on this track do not last very long at all. I'm actually quite surprised. What's happened here? I'm actually quite surprised to be seeing this many drivers choosing to take their runs on the soft tire. I don't know what's going on with that. But it's definitely happening, as it looks like, yeah, everyone on track has gone for the soft tires. But out first is Brian Mosser, 88, coming out of turn 15 now. Into the pit straight he goes. Going to be at full corn into this first corner. See the car exiting the exit there into turn 1, up, down into 4th if you'd like. Little tap on the gas to fling the rear end of the car around through turn 2, through this little straight kind of kink here. 3, 4, and 5, gonna trickle your way down into 2nd gear, up again towards 3rd, back. Typically you'd go down to 2nd for that corner. He's held it through 3rd. Got to really feather the throttle through this corner here, through turn 7. Now wide open down DRS as well. Has someone? It's a Mercedes that's gone off there. Wide open down the straight into the corners of turn 8 and 9 here. On the curbs on the entry. Down into maybe 3rd, maybe 2nd. I typically go 2nd that for exit. Try to cut off most of the exit of that as you can. Now through the long right-handers of 10, 11. Getting into 12. This braking zone is so tricky here because you have to once again feather it between throttle brake, and then downshift as you're doing that as well. Now through turn 12, tricky one here to get correctly. Exited the corner now, seems to be doing okay. It looks like they've actually put gravel on the inside of this track. That was never a thing before. That must have been a new addition to the circuit. Finally now through turn 15. On exit of the corner. Try not to get oversteer on your way out. It looks like he's held it okay. What is he going to be having here? It's a 132. I gotta say, that's probably not the best lap then. People I look at in time trials are typically cracking the 129s. But it looks like maybe that won't be the case, as Evil Prime to the line now. He goes second, 132.5, less than a tenth behind. If we're looking at, yeah, less than a tenth behind, 8 100ths of a second. As next across the line, I believe, is the Williams of somebody, GSR Huskid, who now goes provisional pole, 138. 131.0. To the line he goes, currently second, less than 2 100ths of a second off of Mopowa Cowboy, who is currently provisional pole. Let's see what he does. Oh no! And he spun it round. He's caught oversteer then. Man, that was slightly unusual. That he looked like he had a really good go through that first corner, and well, he's just doing this now. It seems. It looked like he had a really good beginning of his lap going, and then he's just bit oversteer on exit. That does happen sometimes, as now he really is just doing everything he can to make his way back to another timed lap attempt here. As behind him, Jackson Altman has set purple sector 1 in the McLaren. Let's see what he's got as he heads down this back straight here. Oh, big slide. Does he hold it? Well, it's mid-sip of water, and he's spun it round on entry to the turn 8 and turn 9 chicane then. Holds the card nicely. That's one thing I do appreciate about this. Oh, goodness gracious. Was that guy on a timed lap then? Who was that? That was Hey, It's Clay, who is on a timed lap. He's had the McLaren of Jackson Altman go right out in front of him then. Jackson Altman had just spun, coming out of turn 8 and 9. And Hey, It's Clay kind of was at a disadvantage there. Maybe perhaps he got a toe or something. It didn't look like he got a toe. That was quite unusual. Hopefully that's not actually hindered his lap, or else I have a feeling that could be a steward report in the making. That. Well, Hey, It's Clay rounding turn 15 now on exit. Holds it nicely. DRS open, 12 miles an hour extra speed from the rear wing flap that opens up on the back of the car. And he goes P5, about 6.7 tenths of a... yeah, something or another. He's off by about 6.5 tenths then. I have a feeling that he could have managed a lot better had the McLaren of Jackson Altman not gotten his way. Now look at this. This is the second time we've seen this, where drivers really are just cutting as many corners of the circuit as they can. This was a strategy we saw a lot of. I believe it was Scuba Steve, if anyone remembers him. Scuba Steve did this as well, where he would just go straight through all the chicanes, everything like that, trying to get himself back to the line to put in another timed lap attempt. Again, just really feathering the throttle. You do so much of that on this track. You really just have to manage your throttle, manage the inputs, and that really is such a crucial part of either getting a lap correctly or getting a lap completely wrong. Through turn 11 now as the Alfa Romeo dives off to... oh, and he spun it round. And I'm afraid he's hit the throttle too early then, and he's thrown away what looked to be a decently competitive lap then. As next up, Jackson Altman's on his out lap. 30 seconds to go now in the session. To the line now goes Mopowa Cowboy, who has invalidated, but he is coming now to potentially start another attempt. And yes, so he is starting another attempt. We're going to go along with this Jackson Altman. The teammate DJ Knickknack coming to the line now. Doesn't look like this is actually any sort of competitive lap here. Doubt that, yeah, 30 seconds off LMAO. Evil Prime to the line now. He was 3 seconds slower on that one. So it looks like now all the drivers are really starting their timed attempts, and it looks like someone's gone off there. Cooter has really gone off and hit the inside wall. That's coming out of turn 7. And he's going to have to, like, kind of pull it around and make sure he's out of the way. And it looks like he's actually retired from the session on track. Can't be doing that in Midwest F1 League. That's worth a couple LPP for sure. Tiny up to the line now in the Haas. See what he's got. It looks like his pace is I hate to use the word average because it sounds a lot more derogatory than it is, but it looks like a very respectable lap at least. Coming to the line now, Hayes Clay settles for third. To the line he goes, and Tiny goes up to fifth, 3/10 off the pace. Next up, I believe, is the Alpine. Oh, we just had a car go off there. That's Mo Power Cowboy who spun that around. Looks like someone else has just retired then. Next up, Josh C. No, who is this? Is it a Williams? I don't know. It's GSR Hoxid, who's gone pole now. 3/10 of a second the gap. That is going to be one heck of a lap to beat. Meanwhile, Jackson Allman, 1/10 better than his previous Sector 2 time. Coming to the line now, DRS open. No battery remaining whatsoever, but to the line he goes, and he only goes third. Very close margins within the top four. Very close indeed. Evil Prime to the line now. That's not going to help him improve at all. And it is GSR Hoxid taking pole position here in the opening round of Season 7. So GSR Hoxid takes pole in the Williams, Mo Power Cowboy second, Jackson Altman third, Hayes Clay fourth, Tiny in fifth, Guitar Man in sixth, seventh is Josh Sr., 8th is Cooter, 9th is Evil Prime, 10th DJ Knickknack, 11th Cynical, 12th Brian Mosser, 13th Pork Chops, 14th Capital 58, 15th is JST, 16th is K-Dog, A-Dub, and Young DJ CJ. So anyone from JST down failed to put in a time, and that is going to be not helpful to them. Well, race time it is, no formation lap, and no more tire rule. You start on whatever tire you want now. It's going to be interesting. So while we have a moment, let's go into tire strategies here. So it definitely seems like we're not going to see the soft tires in play whatsoever during this race. They'll really only last you 6 to 8 laps. Not a lot. Not a length to even take that risk on. Unless you're at the end, you got a late safety car, whatever it may be. You would expect the mediums to go from between lap 12 to lap 16. So start on the mediums, go on to the hards throughout there, and then take the hards to the end. Now, I would say that is the ideal strategy. However, considering how hard it is to be getting heat into these tires in this new game, I don't necessarily expect many drivers to enjoy running on the hards. I tell you what, last game that was the case as well. The hards just seemed unbearably slippery. I actually didn't mind racing on them all that much, but I do know that it's become even more of a hindrance in this new game. 25 seconds to blast off here. Remember, no formation lap due to the audio glitches that has been happening. Very known issue as well, so hopefully Cody's or EA or whoever it is working on a fix quite quickly. But 10 seconds to blast off here. Season 7, Division 3, looking to kick things off, looking to start with a bang. And I tell you what, it's quite a gap from first to second, but third through fifth, very, very even Stevens then. As it looks like now, the lights are turning on here at Circuit Paul Ricard. We have 5 lights, and then finally, it is lights out and away we go. And it looks like the Ferrari has gotten off the line first. GSR Hawks. Oh, we've got an Alfa Romeo. Really had to slide out there. It looks like GSR Hawks get out to the lead. Jackson Altman in second. Somebody did not get a good start there. Mo Power Cowboys all the way back to P5 and P6 now. Something wrong has happened with him off the starting grid, and he's not gotten a good start whatsoever. But it looks like at the moment, GSR Hawkskid has gotten off to a great start. Hey, it's Clay. Oh, it looks like DJ Knickknack. Something happened back there. It looks like, who is that? Josh Sr. has gone around at the back. That's an interesting one to be had there. Guitar Man Khan, Cynical, battling it out here. All 3 of these cars in close contention for this spot. Up the field we go. It looks like nobody really choosing to use their battery just yet. Seems like it's just a wee bit too early for that to be hitting the panic mode now. However, here's Tiny. Now he's started on the hards. Let's see who's won what tire, and it looks like a fair majority of the field, I'd say it's about a 50-50 split actually, between the mediums and the hards. That's a bit bold. And it looks like now, see, this is what we're talking about here. GSR Hawksid already out to a 1.5 second advantage from the medium to the hard tires. Now, is that going to help or hurt him, considering the pit stops that will happen around that 12th lap? Here's Capital 58. He wanted the right rear tire of DJ Knickknack. DJ then really switching back to the right side of the circuit, kind of cutting off any move that Capital could have made, although it seemed to have been done okay just then. First lap of the new season underway, and it is the Williams of GSR Hawkshead who is leading the field by a considerable margin as well. 2 seconds already from first to second on that opening lap. As we look a little bit further back, Brian Mosser, he wants to the inside of Capital 58 now as they go into turn 1. Doesn't quite make it happen, although with the help of DRS, that move surely will be made. He's actually going to switch back now to the right side. Can he make something happen? And it looks like he will. Yes, he does. Brian Mosser making that move over the Haas of Capital 58. I would say slightly easily, actually. DRS is going to be coming into play next lap as Josh Sr. Oh, someone has made a mistake there. The two Red Bull drivers nearly getting together just then, or did they? It very much looked like they almost made contact, if not they did. It looked really close. I believe it was young DJ who swerved way to the inside of the track. Definitely some aggressive talking will be had from the boys in Milton Keynes. And now it doesn't look like the move's going to be made now, but Tiny, something's happened with him, and the Haas of Tiny has spun it round, coming out of the first series of corners there, and he's going to actually meet up then with his teammate of Capital 58. Unfortunate for him, he was within the top 5 when that incident took place. Looks like it was another simple move of oversteer then. Can't really do much about that, unfortunately. DRS open now. Here's Guitar Man Khan. Can he find his way past Mopowa Cowboy, the Ferrari? He looks to the inside. The Ferrari actually doesn't have DRS here, so Guitar Man easily able to make that move happen. Oh, and hey, it's Clay. He's gone around. Oversteer. Something has happened on exit of turn number 8, and he's spun the car around. Luckily, no damage was taking place. The tires, they are hard, so they maybe haven't suffered that much. Although that was a really poor spot to make that happen. Oh, what's this? Hey, it's Clay, is letting drivers go by. He's not had a puncture or something, hasn't he? He's really let Cynical go by just then. Maybe just he wasn't up to speed yet. Kind of did the right thing morally and just kind of let him go by. Slightly puzzling then. Here's Brian Mosser looking to find his way around the two Haas drivers in front of him, that being Capital 58 and Tiny. Into turn 14 and 15 now. He's going to look for that left rear tire. Oh, is he going to try it around the outside through turn 15? He goes really wide, comes back onto the track, is going to have DRS. He's probably picked up a warning for his move there. However, whatever he's gained then is actually going to come back and help him as he goes down to the inside and makes the move going into turn 1. Actually, no, he hasn't. He's backed off. So it looks like Capital 58 was able to maintain the position after all. Brian Mosser now looks like he's going to get the spot as he goes around the right side. Someone has gone off back there. Is that Josh Sr.? And it is. He spun around again. That's the second time today in only 4 laps. Not exactly a statistic to enjoy then. Into DRS now. Yeah, he's still a little bit too far back, I'm afraid. Even then, let's go back to Pork Chops now. He's had Capital 58 go wide out in front of him. Both of these drivers on the hards. Even Stevens as far as that goes. Capital 58 does not have DRS. Pork Chops does. Capital 58 is just going to let Pork Chops have that right-hand side. Probably the best decision for him there. A-Dub, can he make his way around J-Steve perhaps? It looks like J-Steve has actually gotten around the LP, and this must have been within this last lap. Oh, we got a pass going on ahead. Hey, it's Clay finally makes his way around the Mercedes of Cynical there. And I was just going to say, this is kind of a track where a lot of drivers get torn between going... Oh, Evil Prime has gone off. Done it. Oh, my God! Okay. Good God almighty, that almost ended catastrophically. We have a car off ahead as well. Capital 58's gone around. No, it's actually Tiny. He's gone off. Oh, and he comes back onto the circuit. I don't know if he spun there or what had happened. He was in the middle of the track and somehow managed to keep the car in one piece and those around him in one piece. That was a very close call there indeed. Although Guitar Man really seems to have that straight line speed going for him now, as even with the DRS, it just doesn't quite look like he's able to catch up to the AlphaTauri in front of him. Caution towards the back. Someone's gone off. Multiple cars involved, it looks. Young DJ CJ being one of them. I saw John. Oh, big crash there! Oh my goodness. Tiny and Josh Sr., the two cars tangling on exit of turn number 7. And I have no idea what caused that. Both drivers were heading towards the DRS. One of them was on the inside, and maybe they just hooked each other's wheels and got sent to the barrier on the inside of the track. That was a very interesting development there. Capital 58 now to the inside of Pork Chops, going in towards turn 11. Very unconventional place to make this move happen, but the Haas does it. Very nicely done then. Pork is going to try to stay to the right side here. Can he make something happen? J-Stee goes really deep into the corner, nearly plowing into the gearbox of Pork then, but somehow is able to back off. Still a neat little battle this is. 4 cars now. K-Dog K, she's also joined in on this. As the train of cars swoop their way down the pit straight, it looks like, as perhaps J-Stee caught oversteer or something, he's lost a lot of ground. But Pork Chops now, can he find the outside of the Haas in front of him? Decides to give him the room and not attempt the overtake then. That was, I'd say, a good choice at the end of the day. I think there are some drivers who would have made that move happen, but in the sake of it's still early days, I think perhaps that was the better decision. As it looks like in front of him, Guitar Man Khan to the inside of Mopowa Cowboy going into turn 8 and 9. And yes, he does make that happen. Guitar Man Khan has been on a roll today so far. Car off towards the back, it's Josh Sr. and J-Stee once again. No, it is just J-Stee then. Has spun the car. Man, today is going from bad to worse for the Red Bull team. Looks like up ahead, Pork Chops and Capital 58. Side by side going into turn 8. It looks like the Ferrari of Mopowa Cowboys going off up ahead. What has happened then? I'm not actually sure what his two cars were in very close proximity of each other at the time in which the incident took place. Capital 58 backing off of Pork Chops here, looking to switch down to the inside, doesn't quite have anything to be made at the moment. Pretty much have the advantage here as they exit turn number 7. Look at the rain clouds starting to form in the distance. Down to the inside goes the McLaren, tucks back in line then, ekes his way out yet again. Can he find his way? Contact on the diffuser. Does anything happen? Contact again, and Evil Prime spins it round. And I tell you what, sometimes that sort of... Oh, and it looks like Capital 58, he's gone off as well in this. Interesting here. It looks like sometimes that sort of thing just kind of happens. Racing is racing. Sometimes mistakes can be made, and it seems like one was made then. Oh, it looks like we've had a car gone off over there. Young DJ CJ has spun it round then, coming out of the pits. Now, has he just made a stop? No. Old tires. Huh. Looks like a little bit further up, Mopowa Cowboy, I believe he and A-Dub battling it out here as A-Dub perhaps just made somewhat of a mistake. And it looks like the rain may be falling soon. 0.3 of a second the gap. We could be looking at a lead change here very shortly. But when does it happen? Does it happen in the pits or does it happen on track? To the outside, Jackson Altman really cuts back to the inside. Good move there. That's helped him a lot. DRS enabled, to the right side of the circuit he goes. Raindrops now falling at Circuit Paul Ricard, but he does make the move happen. And that was going to be crucial then, yet you can see the raindrops starting to fall. Car off towards the back. It looks like as potentially Cooter, something has happened with him. He's a little bit slow. Interesting mix of cars here. Remember, 0.4 of a second the gap. Who is going to be on the better tires for the rain? It's definitely falling. About halfway through the race. Cooter, can he find a move around Guitar Man? Remember, he's going to have no grip with the rain falling. Side by side. Still side by side. DRS enabled. The cars are dead even going down the backstretch. And it looks like Cooter gave it everything he can, plus the help of DRS, and he finally got around the AlphaTauri, and then, just to add insult to injury, 3 seconds of time penalty for multiple warnings. You can see now water collecting on the screen. The rain is falling. Still looks too early to pit. Although I have a feeling that's not going to be too far off in the future. Still doing what they can. Still battling. Who chooses to come in first? Still nobody. I mean, Hoxton really, this was his plan, held out before the rain to start falling, and once it gets unbearable, like it's starting to really come about now. Hey, it's Clay. Can he find his way around the left side of Guitar Man? Holds it cleanly on exit. DRS open for now. Probably going to be shut off within this next lap. Side by side, these two, as they head towards turn 1. Hopefully nothing catastrophic happens. Still to the inside goes Guitar Man, and yes, Hey, it's Clay does take the position over the AlphaTauri of Guitar Man. It looks like Josh Sr. Losing positions here towards the back. Fit the intermediates and get on with it, and it looks like, no, he's putting on the softs. That, I hate to say it, seems like a mistake. Mopal Cowboy, he's got DRS back to Evil Prime now, looked for it. Didn't really commit to it, and thankfully he didn't. It would have been catastrophic if he did. And now, look at that, yeah, Evil Prime really oversteered then, and Mopal Cowboy able to get around the left side, and now, look, the water starting to collect on the surface. I would assume within these next couple laps, 1 or 2 at the most, we'll see the cars come in for stops. Can Josh Sr. find the inside of Evil Prime? Looks like he's going to vouch against it for now. Although I tell you what, he definitely seems like he has the pace to eventually make that maneuver happen. Capital 58, can he find his way around Cynical here? Cynical's been kind of fighting his car as we saw last lap. Doesn't look like at the moment he's going to be able to. Heavy across the curb goes Capital 58 into turn 3. Guitar Man Con, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. Josh Sr.'s gone off! He's DNF'd on exit of turn 7. Have we a full safety car? It looks like we might. Oh no, don't tell me we have a safety car now. Yellow flags all across the circuit. It looks like the safety car is on its way out. In France, very little time left. Josh Sr., so unfortunate for him. Had a very up and down day, and despite all the ups and the downs, finally it seemed the stock market had crashed. And boy, he was giving it a good effort as well. Very unfortunate to see. But now, that shakes things up. Oh, ever so slightly, I'd say. So the safety car will be making its way in this lap. We'll have 3 laps of racing left, 25, 26, and 27 at the stripe this time by. GSR Hoxid has shown very impressive pace so far, but he does have the 3-second penalty, along with Cooter 65 up there as well. So it looks like the battle really will be between Jackson Altman and Hey, it's Clay for the win. Unless, by some chance, GSR Hoxid can manage to make a 3-second gap in the next 2 laps. Now look at this, Jackson Altman really getting alongside GSR Hoxid then as they go through turn 12 now. Who's going to come out on top? It's going to be very interesting. Honestly, this is going to be so exciting, the end of this race here. 3 laps, lap 25, lap 26, and finally lap 27 at the stripe this time by. If you've got a penalty, you're not in a good spot, that part is for sure. GSR Hoxid gets the field going here as he rounds finally turns 14 and 15. 3 laps to go at the stripe this time, and it looks like GSR Hoxid has gotten a great start. Off behind him, it doesn't look, I tell you what, this has been a lot more spread out than I really thought it would be. Remember, Jackson Altman doesn't really need to do much here. As long as he keeps himself from getting a time penalty, he's a shoo-in to win the race. Hey, it's Clay. He's in this as well. Do the Alfa Romeo team perhaps perform some sort of switcheroo here? And it looks like, oh, JC's gone off. No, and it goes from bad to worse for the Red Bull drivers. Neither of them having good days. DJ, CJ, DNF in the pits. JC now have fallen down quite considerably. He was about P10 when the safety car came in, roughly. And that's just so unfortunate. Here's Cooter 65 within 1/10 on the McLaren in front of him. Another car off towards the back. Oh, that's Mo Power Cowboy. He's given it a good spin now, hasn't he? Trying to regain composure here, missing the end plate on the left-hand side of his front wing. Cooter 65 really going at it with with Jackson Altman here. His teammate Hayes Clay very closely in behind. Meanwhile, a second and a half has been gained on second place of Jackson Altman. That is not a statistic that Jackson Altman would like to see right now, as Evil Prime picks up 3 seconds for multiple warnings, putting him up to 6. The two Alfa Romeo drivers in close quarters now. It looks like the rain hasn't stopped falling even yet. Tiny getting around A-Dub towards the back. Cynical picking up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. He's in a tight battle now then. Pork Chops looking like he may make up about 3 or 4 spots here when it's all said and done. 2 laps to go now. Still a second and a half between GSR Hoxid and Jackson Altman. Cooter up to 6 seconds of penalty now. Do the Alfa Romeos swap positions here and let Cooter potentially battle with Jackson Altman for the win? It doesn't look like it's happened just yet, perhaps on the next straight. We'll have to see what happens if team orders come into play. I know team orders really aren't a thing. Although, if I were Cooter right now, I would really just give your teammate the toe and then get out of the way. But it looks like Hayes Clay just doesn't have anything for him. Even if Hayes Clay wanted to pass his teammate right now, he just couldn't. He's severely losing time. Look at how much water gathering on the track. Oh, and that's a big slide then from Clay. Somehow was able to hold on to the car. That was very close. Towards the back, Tiny to the right rear tire of DJ Knickknack. He's looking for it here. Side by side as they exit the corner. Still side by side now. Can they find any sort of advantage? Sweeping right-handers here. Not exactly corners you want to be next to each other in, as they're doing it again. Cars side by side in front of them as well. Cynical and the Haas of Capital 58, they're also battling. It looks like Cynical's gotten the better of the Haas for now, or the Haas has gotten better, the Mercedes rather. Final lap of the Grand Prix, 1.3 seconds the gap between Jackson Altman and a win. Hey, it's Clay. Close in behind as well, but he needs to find something to do here. He'll have the podium thanks to his teammates' time penalties, but I think had the teammates switched positions, Hey, it's Clay probably could have found himself a win here. Although at the moment, I'm not entirely convinced he would have been fast enough to pass Jackson Altman. Jackson's really has been flawless pretty much this whole day. Bit of a slip up ahead then. It looks like Cynical. Can he find a way around Capital 58? He's going to look to the left side. Switching back now to the right, and then eventually we'll switch back to the left. Doesn't quite make it happen, although it was a really good try. Still going for it now. Capital 58 goes wide, exiting turn number 7, or turn number 6 rather. Into the back straight they go. Battery being used then for Cynical. Both of these drivers battling for position as they're both on 3-second time penalties. Can he find his way around the outside? Looks Cynical. He really wanted it, and he still sits there. Man, and I think he had to back out. Oh no! And he's gotten into the other Haas. Tiny has got... Well, in the midst of the excitement, I've unplugged my microphone, but it is now coming to the line. With the penalties, it will be Jackson Altman taking the win on the first round of the season here in France. Hey, it's Clay. Will be finishing in second, most likely. Yes, he does. Great day for the Alfa Romeo team, but holy moly, Cynical absolutely got plowed into by the Haas of Tiny. And I wasn't able to catch on with it as my microphone, I disconnected it within the excitement somehow. Man, oh man, what a race that was. Very, very fun indeed. Jackson Altman taking the first round of the season. Hey, it's Clay in second. GSR Hoxid manages to take third. France, Jackson Altman taking the win. Hey, it's Clay in second. GSR Hawksid in third. Cooter in fourth. Brian Mosser fifth. Guitar Man in sixth. Pork Chops in seventh. 8th is Tiny. 9th is Evil Prime. 10th is Capital 58. 11th is A-Dub. 12th is DJ Knickknack. 13th JST. 14th is K-Dog. And I think after that, Mo Power Cowboy 15th. 16th, FWM Cynical. And everyone else in behind, unfortunately, did not finish the Grand Prix well. It was an excellent, excellent opening round of the season. And I can't wait for next week when Midwest F1 does eventually head to Hungary. A very interesting second round of the season. Thank you all for joining, and we will see you next time.